If you're a member of the first responder community here, locally, or in our state, if you could please rise, please, so we could appreciate you. If you're a member,
How many of you have been blessed by being here today to celebrate the life of Sandeep Dhaliwal? Let's give Sandeep the praise. I like that story Sergeant Lightfoot told about Sandeep stopping multiple cars at one time. It does get interesting when you stop multiple cars at one time. Yeah. When you gonna let me go? When I get done, ma'am. When I get done. Before I do, I'm going to read one final passage of Scripture and say a dismissal prayer. In the book of Numbers, chapter 6, the Scripture says, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Tell Aaron and his sons to bless the people of Israel with this special blessing.' And so I speak this blessing upon every one of you under the sound of my voice today. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace." It is my prayer as chaplain of the Sheriff's Office that every one of you would go in the peace of God today, knowing that we have celebrated the life of a blessing in the person of Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal.
Somebody by their last name. So Dhaliwal was just Dhaliwal. So we both arrived in District 5 in 2013. Dhaliwal was a patrol deputy on probation, evening shift, and I was a supervisor. His training officer, Sully, and I'm sure Sully's here somewhere, Sully was off that night, and I was in the sergeant's office doing the roster, and this guy runs in and walks in, sticks his hand out and says, "Deputy Dhaliwal reporting for duty, Sarge." And I was taken aback. I was like, who is this guy that has so much energy? I'd never met him before. But that's who he was. And that's my first meeting with such a great man. And I was right, he was full of energy. He always volunteered for the extra details that we had. One of our duties was to create traffic initiatives to address problems with speeders, red light runners, other kind of violators. So we had an issue with people exiting the controlled access freeway up by our substation. Lieutenant Bruce can attest to that. But I asked Deputy Dhaliwal one day, and this is probably July, in 100-degree heat. I said, Sandeep, I said, I need you to go out to our spot and just, be visible, make some contacts, generate us some stats. We've got some problems over here. He says, no problem, Sarge, I'm on it. So I finished my duties and went down the road and made the U-turn and came back up the feeder, and Dhaliwal had 6 or 7 cars pulled over at one time. And I said, what are you doing? He said, well, Sarge, he said, I flagged them all over, and I'm gonna ride them all at one time. And I said, well, you really love this job. And I'm sure he made a lot of them mad, because normally you don't want to detain somebody that long on the side of the road and wait for everybody else to get their citation. So that's just the effort that he put through in his daily duties. And I was talking about stories with some of our coworkers. We always eat lunch together, and so there's a lot of ribbon that goes on between us. And I had thought of a few stories that were appropriate to tell here, and one, we had the crackers that they give you at Chick-fil-A, so I crumbled up a bunch of them and I threw them on the roof of his patrol car. And so when he left, there was about 8 grackles sitting on the top of his patrol car eating crackers off of his car, and he didn't notice. He got in his car, put his car in reverse, and backed out, and all these birds stayed there on the car. So it was quite a sight to be leaving a Chick-fil-A with a bunch of wildlife in tow. So we ribbed him about it, and he had no idea. So it's just one of the many funny stories that I can tell you about Dhaliwal, and we call it Dhaliwal stories. And everybody I work with probably has a Dhaliwal story. There's another one when he bumped into a patrol car and acted like he didn't do it, but anyway, he was a blast to work with. Just a comedy and an infectious smile. If I could take one thing away from just having known him for so many years, he was always smiling. He'd come into my office, and every other Friday was payroll day, so I'm sitting there and I'm typing away in the computer, and he goes, "Good morning, Sarge," and I'm like, "What? I'm busy. I got all this mess to do. I've got all this payroll to work on. How's it a good morning?" He's like, "Let's go eat." And I'm like, "Okay, let's get out of here." So that's the type of person he was, and he was, just know that he was an uplifting spirit amongst our group. And he was.
Stand with us. Every like, every retweet, every share, every applause in every stadium was a resounding endorsement of Sandeep's legacy. We must not forget these endorsements. When the inevitable time comes, pick ourselves up and get to work. Because that's how Sandeep operated. Someone who walked the walk, mode naal moda, shoulder to shoulder. We are with you and your family, brother. Until we meet again, Rab Rakha, God bless, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Sat Shri Akal. Sat Shri Akal. True is the great, timeless one. Good morning. My name is Amy Lasko. Some of you here today may be asking yourselves, who is this girl standing before you and why is she speaking? I even asked myself, why me? What do I have to say? I am simply a member of this community and a volunteer. This is my home. I attended Feast Elementary, Lyby Junior High, Cy Falls High School, and I even graduated from Prairie View A&M, and where I learned what he stood for. It was at that time Officer Dhaliwal taught me the greeting, Sat Shri Akal, because I wanted to greet his father as he visited that memorial every single day, and I wanted to pay him respect. As you have all heard by now, Officer Dhaliwal was a Sikh. He loved to share and educate people about his faith, and I am grateful to have shared many conversations with him regarding this topic. It is my hope that you may all leave here today with a greater understanding and knowledge of the Sikh community and just what this absolutely amazing man stood for. The Sikh community has a deep respect for all people. Sikhs believe in one God, equality, and community service. Sikhs wear a turban, and that turban represents a commitment to equality and justice. 99% of the people you meet wearing a turban are are Sikh. Sikhism is a distinct religion separate from Hinduism and Islam. The word Sikh itself means student for a lifetime. Sikhism stresses the equality of all men and all women. Sikhism stresses the importance of self-defense. However, it pointedly teaches not to seek revenge or retaliation, and it teaches observers to be free from hate. Sikhs believe in 3 basic principles: meditating on the name of God, earning an honest living, and sharing the fruits of one's labor with others. Sikh teachings emphasize service to humanity. A guiding principle is to work on one's ego by service to others without expecting anything in return. It is my hope that as you all depart here today, you will take some of these principles with you. I don't know why the world is dark or dangerous or why bad things happen to good people like Officer Dhaliwal, but I do know that he would want us to come together and not give in to the darkness. He would want us to embrace and celebrate our differences, do good deeds, and spread love. When today's services are concluded, I hope that you take a moment to talk to the stranger next to you, say hello, shake hands, and give them a hug. I also encourage you to greet your Sikh neighbor with the words, Sat Shri Akal. Officer Dhaliwal and I, along with many other community members, became great friends over these very same sorrowful circumstances. However, something good came out of a tragedy because I met him, and my world was made all the richer because of knowing him. It is my hope that something good, however small, can come out of this. It is through unity in our community that we will heal our pain and go forward stronger and more united than ever, thanks to Officer Dhaliwal's example. Sandeep Dhaliwal was one man who impacted countless lives within our community, our country, and the world. You too can be a positive difference to our community and the world through mutual understanding, respect, service to others, and most of all, love. Thank you.
I'm just going to tell y'all right now, hey, where's that San Antonio contingency at? Where y'all at? Where's San Antonio? Where y'all at? All right. So, for you out-of-state peace officers, you want some really good barbecue? Don't go to San Antonio. Stay here in Houston. All right. Thank you now. All right.
He actually took a picture with me and all of my children and told them that they were someone important. It meant a lot to me because not only do they hear it coming from me, but they hear it coming from someone else.
To save our lives and stuff and make us have a better life and don't have thieves around.
Just such a sweet guy. I mean, he brought toys for the kids for Christmas.
To see him very much committed to this community and to his job, it gave me great comfort in knowing that he was here.
Deputy Dhaliwal was just a very loved person. He had a giving heart, a public servant.
The purpose of our life is to just love each other.
Thank you so much for his life, just that we got to know him.
We got to take this negative, we got to turn it into something positive. We can't go back and change what happened to this beautiful officer, but we got to make sure that his life remains a lasting legacy for change, because that's how he would want it.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ The shepherd of the voice of the Guru in just listen is by written down Guru Arjan Sahib Ji in the 66th scripture at the count of 523.
Everybody that was in District 5 or is currently in District 5. And to the Dhaliwal family, I'm honored to be able to speak on behalf of such a great man. This is your family. We won't let you down. He was our brother, and he's still our brother, and you're still our family. So thank you.
Thanks for watching.